Well, hello everybody. Time to begin on the Messerschmitt Bf109 G2. This is a trumpeter kit at 1/24 scale. So this will be the largest scale aircraft model built, and also my first trumpeter model kit. So yeah. Start at the beginning, read for assembly. I've done that. Deck application, learning all what these mean. So cut, move, sign, accurate glue. I've got some of that. So then the first page is your sprue map. Let's get into the building page. So, in case for those of you who don't know, or some of you may not know, but I did do a first look of this kit, in which I had a look at the manual and also all the plastic in the kit. Link will be over there somewhere, I guess. Just up there, just up there. That part, anyway, never mind. Either that part of the screen or down below. So stages 1, 2, 3 and 4 are all engines. So I think I'm going to start there. Obviously, start at the beginning. Happily, the instruction manual lists the paint color for the parts as you go along. So metal black appears to be everything on this sprue, well, on these pages, except this part here, which is light blue. So I've got some of that. So should I paint it before I put it on, or put it on and then paint it? It might be easier to paint it before I put it on, because the whole thing is light blue, including the little thing you stick to it, J3 rather. The exhausts are burnt iron, so I'll probably do those on the sprue and painting by brush. Everything else is metal black, so metallic black as far as I'm concerned. So I can put the whole thing together and then spray it all in one go. That's going to be the plan. Anyway, let's begin. Right then, so start cutting some plastic. Right then, let's get started. Interesting enough, it starts off already with a bit of an issue. You've got this part here, which is actually two parts put together. So I think it's assuming that you already know what to do before you've even began. Anyway, 32 and 33. E34. So I'm just going to cut off the main parts for this engine, clean them up, and then put them together, and then continue with the other pieces. Not the finest fit I was expecting, but it is an older kit. Anyway, so today I'm going to be using the Mr. Hobby Cement S. I haven't really used it before, so I think it's time to try something different. Fairly certain it works exactly the same way as the Tamiya, extra thin, but yeah, here we go. So I've got some possible fit issues for later on. This part that I just put on the top there isn't quite flat on the side there. You can see there's a little bit of a step between the that part there and this part here, parts E34 and the E33-34 engine block part. Anyway, let's keep going. Right, so that's the first section done, so let's continue. So this is an odd little piece which goes on to there like that, I think, and because it's one of the pieces that's going to break off, and it's not visible in any of the diagrams after you glue it on, because all the diagrams are looking at it from that side. So anyway, and now I got it on straight. Maybe I should have waited to put it on till later. Anyway, one more piece on this and then on to the next part. E17. I remember them. Do you? Right, so now on to all these pieces here and the exhaust pieces. Okay, let's go. So with this part, I think I'm going to glue this piece onto there first. It'll make life a bit easier, and then I can put everything else goes on top of it. There's nothing preventing it from going on now as opposed to after you've glued all the bits on. So yeah, that's the way I'm going to go with it. Let's get it lined up. leave a tiny gap before I put the glue in. There you go. I'm going to have to get rid of that little line there, because it looks like there's one plate there. That's one plate, but there's a drawing line in between the two, so hopefully I won't need to, but we'll see when we get there. Right, so that's done. Next stage is to put in together the all the little exhaust pieces, so I'll get on with that. Okay, so it looks like I made a little error here. Sort of. I mean, I cut off all parts of 26 and 30. Now, so I've got to get them the right way around now. So, because they are sided, so all these are 20. So I'm assuming 20 and 26 go together, or maybe, and 30 and 31 go together. So yeah. So basically, just gonna have a go, put them together, and the ones that fit, the ones that don't. So that doesn't fit that one. That one fit. Same with that one. Right, so all these, so I've separated them out. So all these are the ones that fit onto this one, which is 31. So they'll be 30 then. So yeah. So I just have to be careful and make sure I get them the right way. So just double checking. There's a bit of flash on the mating surfaces where the push holes, extrusion pin marks are, so we're going to need to be careful with that. So should I cut them off, or yeah, I'll cut them off, might as well. So basically going to be a lot of cleanup and stuff for all of these little ones. So. Right, so I'll get this cleaned up and see you in a little while. I did some cleanup on these exhausts, basically just sanding down the front ends to remove the step. Some of them, as you can see, or maybe not, have a little step where the two halves joined. So basically I'm just going to, I've been sanding them down to make them flush with each other. A bit of contouring around the sides. Then taking the scalpel and just cleaning up the open end of the exhaust. I suppose, strictly speaking, I should make that as thin as possible to make it look more scale, but yeah, I could do that. This thing is already attached the other 6 onto the machine, so anyway, that's one side done. I'll just see how, I'll see if I can do it, how far I can go with these without destroying it. I can use a file. Rather than do it. It's going to take a while. So anyway, I'll carry on with this and we'll see if I get anywhere with it. Okay, then, so we've got this far with the engine, and the next stage of construction is just to put this wiring loom, which is what I think it is, onto the engine, and it fits. That end fits in there, and then you've got a couple of locating points which allow it to fit into the side of the thing like that. Then these little wires here fit into these little holes. I've drilled them out actually to allow the thing to go in. Problem is, trying to get them in is quite tricky. Let's see if I can do this one. So drilling other holes makes it easier to put them in, but then it's quite difficult. And also another thing, I don't think this is quite right, because this is like a flexible thing, and when you've got a little, well, I've tried to put a few of these cables into the holes, like, you know, that one, start at the back for example. I can't do it. Anyway, it's very difficult to get them in, and because this is a sort of flexible vinyl, this thing is like, you know, it's not straight. You can see that it's laying on its own accord, it just doesn't stay straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this aside and just scratch build one. I'm going to order myself a tube, some metal or a brass or aluminium tube, whichever. Probably aluminium would be easier. That size, which is 1.5 millimeters, and then so basically drilling holes into the side of the metal tube and putting some wires in, which I can then bend better to fit and go into locate into the little holes at the side there. Don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but I think you get the idea, because then it'll look more accurate. As you can see on the instructions, it shows this as a straight, unlike this, it really isn't. So I've just put together this, which I believe is the main cannon. It fires, which I thought was a clever idea, it fires through the engine, down the middle of the engine, out of there. So basically on the airplane it fires through the center of the propeller. And don't know why they needed to have the whole barrel on there if it's just going to go hidden in there. But I guess it's, yeah, you know it's there, so that's the thing. So anyway, gluing that in. That a bit more down the side. So yeah, that's that done. So I've put together these pieces here. I've glued them on with a bit of Mod Podge because I don't want them to, because I want to be able to remove them later on for painting. These parts are going to be, make it easier, these parts here, the little tanks here, they're going to be light blue. So, and the whole engine is black, with the exception of the exhaust. So I'm going to basically take those off to paint, and I'm going to continue. There's a couple of more pieces to put to the side, a supercharger or turbocharger sort of thing, and some other manifolds across the top there. So let's get on with those. So that's the engine put together, minus the ignition wires, I think they're called. So, but so far the fit was average, wasn't brilliant, wasn't bad, it was okay, and and I had a bit of difficulty. Figuring out where some parts fitted, because the structure manual isn't that clear on some of these things, but I worked it out in the end. So there we go. So that's the engine nearly done. So next stage will be to paint all of this. Just double check. Yeah. So paint it all and have a go at scratch building this piece. It will fit in there on the side there, like that. So these tanks are going to come off and be painted separately, and that's it. The other bits that I thought I was going to paint separately, but I decided to put it on anyway. These two pipes here, they're to be painted blue. So I can point them up. So these two pipes, that one there, they should be painted blue, light blue. So there's two colours to this thing. The whole thing's going to be black. These two little tanks on the side there, and those two pipes there, light blue, and the exhaust is going to be rusted iron, basically. So there it is. Not too bad actually. I think it's rather nice. Yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next part of the build.